Hey, noble ones, look at who we are checking out today. Nux it is. I'll be honest with you, I've seen a lot of clips of his content, and I do follow him on X because I think he's based, but I've never watched a video of his. So he just posted this one. Let's check it out. Just now, leftist furious as terrorist teachers get rounded up. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. I hate those teachers. I hate those teachers so much. You'll find a link in the description and pinned comment if you want to go and watch the full video, because I'll be honest with you, I don't know how he does it, but literally every video of his is an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. I'm not going to react to the whole hour. Consider this like a little demo, okay? Like you're playing a demo of a video game, and if you like what you see and you want to play the rest of the levels and get to the ending, do click the original video.
This woman is fat. Also, she is a teacher. Here's what she was doing at a protest. This is her celebrating the murder of Charlie Kirk and hoping probably that other people get too.
Absolutely.
This is a teacher. This is teaching your children. This is a threat to society and life itself. This isn't cancel culture getting her fired from her job. This is a public safety hazard. This is someone that should not be in the teaching field whatsoever.
Absolutely.
This is someone that shouldn't even necessarily be accepted in public life. Gorlog the Destroyer became Gorlog the Destroyed. So if you want an update on the...
Yeah, the only thing I would say is don't arrest her because of it, because ugly speech is still protected speech, but the consequences of ugly speech, that is in fact as far as it goes, and I have a dedicated video to this teacher specifically. I'm sure he's going to cover several, but this is something that people misunderstand when it comes to freedom of speech and the First Amendment in the United States. The First Amendment only protects your speech in as far as she won't get arrested for it. That's it. But her losing her job, if her employer doesn't want to have anything to do with her because she's a disgusting human being, and in fact, her family, her friends, if they see this and they're like, oh, you're gross. What happened to Charlie Kirk is disgusting and you do this, I don't want to see you ever again. You can't claim free speech to that.
Or of this individual. It turns out this woman was a teacher at the Chicago public schools. Why is it always teachers? Great question. And you know what Chicago public schools ended up doing? Well, they shut down their entire internet presence. This is before, and this is after. Website under construction. Please check back soon.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to talk about teachers today because essentially the left is a vampire cult where essentially they can't reproduce themselves. Think about it, right? They're telling their women to abort their children. They're telling women not to get married. They're telling women to get careers instead of marriages. They're telling men not to approach women. They're trusting every single, essentially every single allegation, whether it's true or it's false. So how do they grow if they can't breed? Well, they want your children. So the real question is, how do they get to your children? And today we are going to be looking at the epidemic that is school teachers essentially existing to groom you and your children. This is a very evil, dark rabbit hole that I wanted to go down for.
And indoctrinate. Absolutely. He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. They are indoctrinated. The children, I'll tell you more about it when it comes to the full-on techniques as to how they achieve that and why they are targeting specific age groups. But I'll let him continue. I freaking love the avatar. I freaking love the avatar.
For a long time, and we're finally doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, lock in. I hope you're ready. Evil cannot create. It can only corrupt and destroy. And that is what we're looking at right here, baby. And people are noticing, and these teachers are all getting fired. They fought too close to the sun, and now they're foeing. So let's see what we got. Here is a teacher at the Obsidian Middle School celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination. Welcome to the trenches. Gross. These people should not be teaching kids. These people shouldn't be accepted in public society. Glorifying political violence like this. It's unreal.
He's right.
Hello, my name is EJ. I teach elementary general music to students from kindergarten through 5th grade. And my students call me Maestro. But here are all the things in the last week the students have called me instead of Maestro. A 5th grader called me Maestro Baddie. There's various 5th grade girls who really love to hype me up, and it made me feel great. I said I can be Maestro Baddie, absolutely. In a similar vein, but a little more uncomfortable, we have Pookie Maestro. So that was unique. I'm non-binary, and
we know.
I just have one name, Maestro, as a teacher. But I do get called Miss Maestro and Mr. Maestro in the same vein. I don't love it, but I get that
she wants no pronouns. Both Mr. and Mrs. are misgendering because this is a non-binary. She has no genders. So, despite the fact that she looks like a potato, and I would call you Potato Maestro, this is crazy.
Confused. We have a lot of English language learners at this school. I'm not going to be that mad about Miss and Mr. Maestro. Bro, have been called bro multiple times. I do sometimes address children as bro, so I personally don't hate it. I regularly call my classes goobers. I'll say, hello goobers, how are you doing goobers? So I was called goober and goober maestro. Kindergartner, I don't think English is his first language, addressed me just as music, nothing else. Saw me in the hallway, said, hey music, and period. He got right to the point. And then the last one is 6'7" Maestro, to which I replied, if you call me 6'7" Maestro, I will take 6-7 minutes of your recess time.
So anyway, this is teaching children. This is someone that is here to teach your children.
And I would like to underline, and I made a video about this, and it didn't do very well with the algorithm, unfortunately, so I don't think many of you saw it. I'll put a link in the description after the link to his, because priority to his channel since I'm reacting to him. But I want to say, you will find a video where I show that there was a teacher in Canada who literally showed 9 and 10-year-olds the assassination of Charlie Kirk video on repeat multiple times, the full gory one with the blood, while giving them, in class this happened, while giving them a lecture on transgender rights and how you have to fight fascism, and Charlie Kirk deserved it. This happened in Canada. And then the parents, of course the children were traumatized, because, I mean, that was a... Oh, my wife is playing Digimon. That's adorable. I texted a message. The parents found out that the children were obviously upset. And all the school did, as far as I know, is that they suspended the teacher. But that's it. That's it. Instead, the teacher should have been sent to jail. Absolutely should have been sent to jail. So people that have this kind of radical thinking will do radical things to your children. And it's something we need to block. We need to stop. We need to fire every single one of them. All of them, because teaching is a calling, not just a job.
This isn't grooming. I don't know what it is, man. This is crazy. And now you wonder why there's like rates of, essentially these rates of kids that castrate themselves, man.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? What's
They're
going
pushed.
on?
They're
This is
pushed.
a real cult. This is crazy. Anyway, here's another transgender non-binary teacher showing off some epic sauce. So this guy sucks. This guy absolutely sucks, man. Here's things in my classroom. The comm section of the classroom. Like, bro, this is crazy. All right, here's another one. Man at a No Kings rally urging people to kill agents.
So in order for my video not to get demonetized, I had to cut this. But yes, he pushed for violence against the authorities with firearms. I just can't show it, but I watched it. That's what he did.
Wiped out.
These ICE agents gotta get and wiped.
Okay, this is illegal. What he just did is illegal, and he should be arrested and put in prison, because that's not first protected by the First Amendment. It's a direct call to action for violence and a direct threat.
Right there has to get wiped out. You gotta.
This guy is telling people literally to go shoot ICE agents.
Yeah.
He is a college professor. Dude, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys? What is happening? How is this epidemic in our schools? Here's another one.
Because the universities, and it started with the universities and higher education, which turned into breeding grounds for political indoctrination. But then they realized that some of the students, maybe they go along with it just to get the degree, but then they maintain their own, particularly if they have strong core of basic moral beliefs and political ideas, they will still vote for the other side. And so they noticed, it's working, but not as much. So like, yeah, we are indoctrinating a lot of university students to come out, and they are like, what the heck happened to you, type of thing. But then they decided, if we do it with the children, if we do it with the elementary school kids, then they will morph into whatever we want. And at the end of the day, you will end up sending your little kids to gain an education, and they'll come back hating you and thinking you're a bigot. Homeschool.
Guy works at a college.
Well, you know, Jesus did it, so you know I gotta do it, right? Jesus did it. Oh, yeah! Thanks, guys.
Just vandalizing random shit. Like, these people are unhinged. They shouldn't be, not only should they not be respected in public life and public society, but quite frankly, these people especially should not be teaching kids. Right, here's another one.
So today is the first day of school, and I am so excited. I love having signs all around this classroom of mine, but I am hanging this sign today. in my classroom. Fascists fear teachers.
And then if you complain about this, they tell you, are you saying you like fascists? No, you idiot, because you're calling everyone a fascist. Also, Charlie Kirk got shot, so no teacher should be allowed to pin something like this on a wall for children. I hate this so much. Thank you, Nux, for calling this out. You are based.
Now, I teach high school social studies, world history, and U.S. history. And throughout history, the first group of people that fascists have attacked are educators. They fear educators, fear students growing up with free thoughts and with critical thinking.
So what your side does, that's what your side with the little flag here, you are the fascists, because that's what you're doing. You get violent because you say words of violence. So you think you are entitled in responding with physical violence to words. And then you shoot Charlie Kirk in the neck, and then we are the fascists? The inner logics collapse the moment you look at them.
And not being indoctrinated into their beliefs. That's the biggest fear of fascists. And this
You literally have a pedophile flag on your shirt.
is the perfect poster. So today...
So anyway, again, this is basically saying these people are fascists, brainwash them while you're young. Like, this is a history teacher telling you that these are all, that everyone in the
No, that's a traitor.
country's a fascist? Like, this is insane.
Yeah.
Like, it is absolute insanity
Fire
that we need
him.
to play this game. Bro's probably a communist too, and he's explaining to you why fascism is bad.
Thank
like,
you.
Also, he's bald. What a nightmare. Nightmare combo, for real, for real. But, like, this is crazy. This is absolutely insane. Like, this is an actual indoctrination cult in society.
Yes.
And it's really messed up. So, Think Before You Sleep just made this video. They aren't hiding it anymore. And they're not hiding it anymore.
True.
The teachers are literally out running around, ruining children's lives, manipulating them and convincing them things. Because the reality is, these people suck a lot. And they're here to steal your children and morph them into their homunculus that they prefer themselves. It's insane. It is absolute insanity that we need to make believe it's even remotely normal. And quite frankly, it's not normal. And we need to fight back. And these people are trying to destroy us.
What fascism looks like in our schools. It's when teachers are told, don't talk about racism, don't talk about gender, and absolutely do not talk about equity.
Mrs. Harris, this is
equity is nonsense. I mean, you can talk about it. I would definitely talk about it and say it's nonsense. But regardless, it shouldn't be a topic for children. Equity and all that nonsense that they push, and reparations and white guilt. It's all nonsense. And the reality is that there is a reason why they are so open about it. It's the upper scale of propaganda and indoctrination and radicalization. When you are half radicalized, you say awful stuff in private. When you're fully radicalized, you say awful stuff out in the public.
Fascism is when you tell your teachers don't show porn to children and convince them to castrate themselves. That's fascism, guys.
kindergarten. Aren't we supposed to be learning numbers and shapes today? You know she's not in a fascist country because she comfortably says all this on camera, which you could not do in a fascist country without being jailed.
If teachers can't teach real history, if we can't challenge injustices,
what the hell is
stop being?
The hell is real history?
Exactly.
Dude, you're a kindergarten teacher. Teach them colors and shapes. Teach them the alphabet, man. What are we
Roman Empire?
doing? These are the people that are showing people assassination footage on repeat.
Thank
places
you.
of learning, and they start becoming.
All right, let me teach you some history because I'm sure she's talking about equity and racism. So let me teach you about history. Historically, only 2% of Americans ever owned slaves. So making this whole slave shtick really doesn't fly. That's one.
Not to mention, historically, everyone enslaved everyone. And if you look at the number of slaves that occurred in Africa among tribes, but they will never say that because they're not about real history. They're about twisting it into this two-dimensional oppressor-oppressed dichotomy that simplifies everything so that it can neatly fit their message. Ironically, for those who complain about binaries, binary is the way they look at the world.
One thing. Another thing that's important to remember is all the slaves that were in America, they were actually sold by black people. So the real slavers were black people that sold the slaves to the Americans, which was 2% of Americans. So I think that we should start there. What do you think, guys? I think we should start there. I think we should talk about how America is so awesome for freeing the slaves, whereas so many nations around the world that didn't happen. But America specifically did have that happen. So I think that's pretty awesome.
places of control.
There are plenty of ways that school conditions kids to be easily controlled pathologically, but those aren't it. What is this chick even talking about? You can literally see pictures of letters, rectangles, and numbers.
Like 12, 13, 14, circle, rectangle. We have to teach them about fascism and gender. Bro.
On her wall, which means her class is very young. What business does politics have in a place where kids aren't even old enough to read? I mean, is she going to say it's fascism because you can't teach sex ed to 5-year-olds too? Well,
correct. You get them while they're young. That's the plan. They're vampires. I'm done playing this game. I got canceled for calling them vampires, which is why I'm doubling down. It was really fun. We're doubling down. They're vampires, man.
Welcome to the far right grifting, my friends. Doing great.
They can't breed, so all they can do is corrupt, bro. That's the strategy.
Kind of already did. But these people will call anything fascist.
True.
Meanwhile, they'll stay
anything I don't like is fascist. Everyone I don't like is Hitler.
Silent on or approve of people getting arrested for calling themselves retarded.
I was told I would either be arrested or I had to turn up for interview under caution, was because on my Katie's Arms, I called myself a spaz.
No.
And I got arrested effectively by British...
That's fascism. You got arrested for calling yourself spaz?
Police.
I don't know what
that's
that means.
Offensive. I'm waiting to find out if I'm going to be charged against the online community.
The UK has fallen. I really feel it for the British patriots, by the way. I really do, guys. I really do. I'm so sorry that this happened. I just can't wait for Starmer to go back to the whatever circle of hell that he came from, and for you to have a proper, good, dignified leader that can bring back England to how it was supposed to be, and how it was, and how it's always been. Not this nonsense.
Act.
You see that? That's a real instance of authoritarian censorship, and there are many examples of this in England. There's a whole world of difference between being arrested for saying that you're a spaz and your principal kindly asking you to spend more time teaching kids to count and less time teaching them bullshit like systemic racism.
Yeah. Here's the reality, you all.
Why do we get so many of her? This is crazy.
Educators isn't about protecting our students or protecting children. It isn't about us indoctrinating children in a classroom with our political beliefs,
which is what you're doing,
or our own personal agendas. It is 100% about protecting fascism.
That's strange because it completely sounds like it's about all of those things while at the same time having nothing to do with fascism.
Exactly.
What's wrong with just giving kids the tools to learn and letting them figure things out on their own?
Exactly.
That's what good teachers do.
Exactly. Don't tell them what to think. Teach them how to think properly. Meaning critical thinking, critical skills. That's what it is. No, they tell them this is what you're supposed to think. And then they operate in a reward-punishment system. And that's how it is.
Well, that's kind of the point, right? These aren't good teachers who have their students' best interests in mind. These are ideologically possessed, useful idiots who are seeking to convert. And elementary school kids are the perfect victims because they're a captive audience who legally have to be in the classroom, and kids don't have any life experiences or know anything. So it's easy to get them to believe whatever you want without any sort of pushback.
Yes.
The fact that she wants to teach gender ideology to 5-year-olds is insane. Sorry, 7-year-olds. I just found this parody video where she talks about teaching 2nd grade.
Okay, so we watched the first kind of 10 minutes of the video, which already probably will... Oh, yeah, no, he's going into that, and he's going into this. I've already covered it on a video. But anyways, as usual, excellent work. Nux, thank you very much. Really appreciate your work. And these teachers need to be called out because this is absolutely disgusting, disrespectful to the profession as someone who has taught for a decade. All age groups. I wouldn't even think, I couldn't even fathom the idea of pushing my own politics, because at this point, to children exploiting the fact that they're easy to mold, if you will, it's absolutely disgusting. Thank you, Nux, and thank you, Noble Ones, for watching. Bye. If you appreciate my content so far and wish to help ensure my ability to continue to tell it how it is, regardless of any possible backlash, please support this channel on Patreon. Any support helps me and my team of academics keep the channel strong and gives us the means to fight back against the political rewriting of history. Stand with us, defend the truth.